breaking news that we have to break down, which is the fact that
I
Xbox
said
is completely dead. I mean,
everybody.
today they're firing everybody. They're canceling everything. Perfect Dark is dead. They fired a bunch of Call of Duty developers. Forza just got gutted. The future project, that MMORPG that ZeniMax was working on.
Here we go. Now, mind you, some of that might possibly be true. But guess what? PlayStation canceled far more games than Xbox. Look at you, damage controlling for Microsoft. Oh no, it is true. And we not once say that PlayStation 5 is dead, even after all the employees and games that they've canceled, right? Now, mind you, this is not great news for the gaming community, but still, at the end of the day, you know whose problem this is? And I'm going to sit there and tell you, it's the gamers. You guys weren't going to support Perfect Dark. Microsoft, Sony, or whoever that takes the time to invest all this money into these video games, and you people are going to sit there and tell people we was going to support them. You know at the bottom of your heart you guys wouldn't. Let's just be honest. No different than Killzone, Resistance, and Warhawk. You know that there's not enough of you guys to go out there and support the games that we all say that we allegedly love. And that is the honest truth. And you people want to complain about layoffs. Oh, well, that's everything on Xbox. Well, I can guarantee you that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 specifically is one of the games that ain't going through this mess. So you can sit there and keep talking about lay off this and lay off that. But at the end of the day, that's not everything, kid. Because if that was everything, then why is Gears of War Reloaded, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Ninja Gaiden 4? How come these games still exist? I'm just saying, which also goes against your own argument of you saying that it's every game at Xbox. Do you see my point? Now, mind you, what's going on here is not very acceptable because I was actually looking forward to Perfect Dark. But, hey, things happen. Things like this happen all the time. Matter of fact, I remember when Nintendo, had, another Diddy Kong racing game, and we never got it for the GameCube. These things happen on a day-to-day basis. Okay? I'm disappointed. Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that even what's going on PlayStation, that's every PlayStation game is canceled. No. Because you still got Ghost of Yotei, you got Wolverine, and Intergalactic. And possibly Marathon if that game don't get canceled, like Xbox games.
That MMORPG that ZeniMax was working on, the Elder Scrolls Online people, that game is dead. Everything is...
That's not every game, though. You just mentioned 3 projects. That is it. How can you sit there and say that's everything at Xbox... and all you mentioned was 3 projects that they were working on? Everwild, Perfect Dark, and the new MMORPG game, right? From the Elder Scrolls Online people. That is 3 games. That is 3 projects. Out of your 10 that got canceled, possibly 11 if Marathon doesn't hit the ground running. At the end of the day, man, I want to speak volumes as to the gaming industry because I think this is a fundamental problem. I think you guys need to stop blaming these companies and realize that the games that you people want to play, well, guess what? The vast majority of gamers don't want to play them. It's honestly true. These people will continue to play Fortnite until the days they get old. You think they care about the start and the birth of PlayStation and Xbox? They only play on it because it's convenient for them, or more than likely their friends got it. Ain't nobody picking up these platforms for exclusives. This is what I was trying to tell you.
People, that game is dead. Everything is just dead. But I want to go through all of it because people seem to be freaking out, especially a lot of Xbox fan accounts are basically posting eulogies. This is definitively the end of Xbox. But
now, how is it the end if they still have games coming out? So if it's the end of Xbox, then it also has to be the end of PlayStation because PlayStation has canceled more games than Xbox. Do you see what I'm saying? See, this is the type of stuff that I don't do. Now, mind you, I don't agree with a lot of what Sony's doing with the PlayStation 5 by being lazy and just collecting money off their 30% while letting the diehard PlayStation fans that actually did value PlayStation for their exclusives get absolutely nothing. I don't understand that, but I will say that this is a very much fundamental problem we have in this industry. I knew that this was going to be a problem when free-to-plays, and you guys want to keep bringing up, oh, Laura Fryer, things was different. That was 20 years ago? 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago, things are different. She didn't have to compete with free-to-plays where people could just download a game for free. Because that's exactly what the vast majority of gamers are playing. NBA 2K wasn't even the biggest thing at that time. It was NBA Live. Like, what are you people talking about? Grand Theft Auto is far bigger than it ever was. It was big back then, but it's even bigger now. These are things that Laura Fryer didn't have to deal with. Okay? So when people sit there and was buying these exclusive games on PS4, let's not forget free-to-plays was just on the horizon. And I knew this when Warframe came out, and I had friends that played it, and they said, hey, I don't think I have to buy games. Then I knew that this will be a problem going forward in our industry because people have accepted the fact like, okay, you know, it's a free game. I'm going to play it. As a matter of fact, I actually like it. I'm going to invest some money into it. I knew this was eventually going to stop people from buying video games. Because now look at it. People don't care enough to buy video games anymore. So you guys want to blame Microsoft, but in reality, it's really free-to-plays that is what's causing this.
I don't think anybody could possibly deny this, is the fact that they just keep eating everything up. They just buy. And then once they buy all these studios, they completely consume the talent, the back catalog, the IP. They basically say, okay, don't be creative. Do the safest, most profit-inducing...
Just like what Sony did with Bungie?
Cost-cutting thing you possibly can.
But that's an industry problem. See, this is what you don't understand. This is why I blame the gamers. Because you guys weren't going to support these games. Just be honest with yourself. I knew if Perfect Dark ever did come out, I knew that nobody was going to support that game. I would have been one of the people playing it. But let's be honest with ourselves, guys. Would any of these casuals that play Fortnite be inclined to want to get Game Pass Ultimate to play Perfect Dark? You know damn well at the bottom of your heart that they wouldn't. Let's keep it 100, man. I'm tired of people lying for PlayStation, Xbox. Let's keep it 100. Y'all weren't going to support that game. I would have. But hey, it sucks that the game is canceled because that was one game that I was looking forward to playing. But hey, that's still 3 games out of your 10, possibly 11 coming up.
Which means that we get boring projects. We get Sea of Thieves Season 25 instead of the people making Banjo-Kazooie, I don't know, making a new Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, guess what? A Banjo-Kazooie, I hate to say it, and I'm a huge fan of that franchise. It would not do well in today's gaming market. You guys know this. Let's stop the cap, bro. Let's stop it. Let's nip it in the bud. Let's keep it 100. You guys would not buy a Banjo-Kazooie. You know it. That's the reason why these games are becoming extinct, because the gamers that say we love them so much ain't really buying them. And then we want to point the finger at Sony and Microsoft for laying off studios. Oh, why they cancel Resistance? Why they cancel Killzone? Why they cancel Perfect? I don't know. Maybe because there's not enough of you guys to support it. You see what I'm saying? Now you guys are getting my point?
But let me start with that, actually. Let's start with just the fact that this internal messaging apparently seems to be Xbox is just cutting everybody, and they're basically saying, we give up. They're just saying, you know what? We can't do it. So here's the first game that's now confirmed canceled, Everwild. So in case you didn't remember this, they did teaser trailer.
But you just said the other one was canceled. So you're trying to tell me we don't even know if Perfect Dark is canceled? Like, now you're just lying. You said the first confirmed game because, like I said, I have to go from confirmation. I don't care what any of you people on YouTube saying, because we already know that you have some agenda when it comes to Microsoft. But you better hope that Perfect Dark did get canceled. Because if it didn't, now you're just lying to your audience. And I don't think that's acceptable to do.
They've been hyping it up. This is the first actual new Rare game. This is the people that did everything. They're the Sea of Thieves people. They've done so much freaking stuff. And this was supposed to be their back to basics, cool roots game. It's dead. And the reason this is particularly baffling is that just 4 months ago, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, was asked, what game are you most excited about? Like, you see all the top secret stuff behind the scenes and stuff. What upcoming game looks the most promising? And he said, Everwild. I'm so excited to reveal more about it. So you're saying the best game with the most promise and the most potential, that's the one you killed first? Phil Spencer is just a liar. Phil Spencer will say whatever it takes to keep...
wow, a multi-trillion-dollar, billion-dollar business that lies to their audience. How I am not surprised.
You talking about Game Pass. He will lie to the developer. There's no way that they knew this game was about
Just
to
like Sony lied to you that you don't actually own your games on your PS5 platforms, but yet for some reason y'all still buying into that lie.
thrown into the garbage can for
At the end of the day, man, I'm gonna tell you guys the way it is. And this is why I've said it before. And I've actually said it in the comment. None of these companies are your friends, bro. The only friends that you have in these YouTube streets is the gamers themselves, but yet y'all ain't gonna fight against this because we know that you guys honestly don't care. You are too busy fighting against your other culture brethren to realize the real problem in the room. You guys are on freaking gaming plantations fighting amongst each other, but guess what? You guys are all still corporate slaves in the end. You think any of these companies care about you? And we know why this is happening. Call of Duty, regardless of the layoffs that they're having, that game is still going to exist. But this is a problem that I've had with gaming. This is why when people say, I like indies, because people can be more creative. But unfortunately, even though some people may disagree, indies' vision is very impacted by the budget that they have to spend. Because even though you could be the most creative person, but if you don't have the money to be able to envision what you are trying to do with your intellectual property, the game will never come up to what you want it to be. And that's the only problem with indies. If indies had far more money, like these AAA companies, we probably would be seeing some great games coming out, guys. But unfortunately, they don't have that much money, but they have the passion. AAA, they got the money, but they have no passion. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem, right? And before people say, oh, well, once people get tired of these AAAs, who do you think they're going to go after? Oh, yeah, they're going to go after those indies. And guess what? The indies are going to be no different than the AAA companies of today. I mean, just look no further than Capcom and all the other studios that were indie at some point, and now look what happened with them once they got the money. They sold out. It is what it is, bro. Y'all think indies are safe? Once these companies realize, oh, nobody care about these Call of Duties and stuff like that. Oh, look at that. We see an indie with a passion project. Come work with us. We'll put a budget and everything. Oh, indies, they won't sell out. Indies, they're for the gamers. They care about us. Bro, he's out here developing games in his mama basement, and you sitting there telling me he ain't going to take a $100 million check for Microsoft just to go work with him and still work on his projects? You would be a fool, and you would be lying to yourself. Because at the end of the day, money talks, BS walks.
Oh my god. The whole thing is the fact that
Hey,
the whole thing I hate about these acquisitions is the fact that they just eat and eat and eat. And when they buy these studios, it increases the value of the parent company. Wow, Microsoft has such a bright future ahead. Oh, they have all this extra intellectual property. They own all these series, all these brands.
I don't think Microsoft owned the initiative, though.
Let's pump up that stock. And then the second they don't instantly turn around and continue that profit,
Oh, they do.
they just
Okay,
cut
I just
them.
want to make sure.
I'll admit the fact that I didn't think Perfect Dark looked great.
I actually thought it did, though. I'm actually kind of disappointed about this.
There were a bunch of leaks last year I reported on that a bunch of people were having trouble working on Perfect Dark, like the
Yep, he looks so happy. Just look at the smile on his face, man. So much for being a gamer. Matter of fact, let me just chime in because he really ain't saying nothing after this. Like I said, it's very disappointing. This is something that goes on in the industry all the time. PlayStation does it. Even Nintendo focuses on franchises that they know are going to sell. It is what it is, man. You as the gamers, I'm going to say it. Because you guys always want to continue to point the fingers at the companies, but you never want to point the finger at yourself. You guys are the problem. You're like, what? You're saying it's our fault that there's layoffs? Hold on. Didn't you guys come up with the whole term, go broke, go woke? Didn't you guys come up with these terms, go woke, go broke? Now, mind you, I understand you don't like the philosophy of their games, but when a studio goes under, you guys celebrate it, right? Oh, yeah, that is true, Games did it. Oh, yeah. Didn't you guys as gamers come up with that? On top of that, didn't you guys also advocate for buying games used? Yeah, we did. I mean, like I said, if I disagree with a practice, I will buy the game used, and if I don't, I will buy the game new to support the devs, right? You guys caused these problems. I'm sorry. The reason why these people ain't got jobs is because of you. It ain't enough of you people supporting these projects. Plain and simple. Microsoft's like, we got to cut all this. We paying all these people unnecessary money. We got all these people in the studio, and we ain't getting as much money. Why are we paying all these people, and we're getting the same amount of work? It makes sense to me. I hate to break it to you, but I would do the same thing, too, if I was in a position of running a company. Keyword, running a company. Now, if you want to look at it from the perspective of the gamers, well, the gamers are going to have to do their part by supporting the IPs and the developers that you say that you love. But even if you do, there's still not enough of you, because 99% of the people that play video games play, I hate going through this list, Grand Theft Auto, NBA 2K, college football, Madden, Roblox, Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. This is what people are playing, okay? And the funny thing is, the ones that are still playing on Xbox and PS5, they don't care about the closures of these games. I do, because I actually like Perfect Dark, and I grew up playing it. You think of Fortnite? If I go on Fortnite and say, hey, you guys know, man, Perfect Dark and Everwild got closed down. You know what they will sit there and tell you? I don't even know what those games are. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Let's not lie to ourselves, people. You know I'm telling the truth. If I say, hey, PlayStation, Fortnite players, Killzone, you ever heard of Killzone or Resistance? They will sit there and tell you, I don't know those games. I hate to say, gaming has been hijacked by the casuals. Even the gatekeepers can't even keep these people from running through the gates. There ain't enough gatekeepers no more. They just running through the gate like a concert, trying to see their favorite singer. We can't contain them no more. There's too many casuals. They just stampeding over us. The gatekeepers, the old school gamers. You can't gatekeep no more. And I think this is what hurts your heart, because you guys know that you have no impact in this gaming industry. This is why I just tell people, shut up and play games. Shut up and play. Because at the end of the day, you thinking that the gaming market is shifted around your little fanboy mindset, I'm here to tell you, or should I say humble you, that that's not what's going on here. Because I didn't think Perfect Dark would get canceled because there would be no reason for that. But this also goes to show you that Microsoft don't want to put the money in it. That can be very hurtful. It hurts even when Nintendo, well, it doesn't hurt like that, but I'm just saying it can be hurtful for people looking forward to the games, and you find out that we can't get a sequel to F-Zero because there's not enough Nintendo fans that want to buy it. Even with a multi-platform strategy in mind, which was what Microsoft's doing, and they said, nah, let's pull the plug. That should speak volumes to you right there. Even with the multi-platform and Xbox Play Anywhere strategy, Perfect Dark and Everwild still get the plug pulled. That shows you that they don't think that there's an interest of enough gamers out there that will support these games. This is why I've also explained, as a gaming community, we haven't grown like you think. Oh, PS5 selling 100 million. Bruh, PlayStation 1 sold 100 million. PlayStation 2 sold 100 million. PS3 sold close to 100 million. It was 80. There's not enough of y'all. PS4 sold a little bit over 100 million. Explain to me where gaming is growing. Are we seeing PlayStation selling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800, even close to 1 billion consoles? No. Gaming is not evolving, but the budget of the game seems becoming more expensive. As time went on, I think what ended up happening, guys, is that every generation is always a gamer that is on the horizon, and then you got the old school gamer that just said, no, I'm done. So they get replaced. This is why the same amount of user base on PlayStation is still playing now. And even if they were old school and did play back then, they don't play no more. You guys get what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, the people that played the PS1, they were like in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. They would be 70, 80 now. Do you honestly think they're playing? They're like, oh, Snack Games, you're right. The only ones still playing are the ones that were still young enough to understand these things. You got people reaching their 40s and 50s now. You get what I'm saying? Y'all like, oh, Snack Games, you're right. But there was people that were already 30. There was people that were already 40 years old when they picked up the PS1 and PS2. Do you honestly think that those same people are playing now? Because they're not. This is why when we see a fluctuate of people playing free-to-play, we're like, yo, what the? Because it's a new audience of people. It's a new audience of gamers. The gamers that we once knew about, they don't exist no more, man. And if they still are, they're like in their 40s and 50s, and now you're starting to see that, oh, this is not what gaming is about. This is not what we grew up on. Well, guess what? It's going to continue to be that way. As far as I'm concerned, Screw Xbox being dead. Gaming is dead as a whole. I've even stated on my videos that gaming for the old school gamer is long gone. It is what it is, bro. That's going to hurt a lot of because somebody was defending Laura Fryer, said, oh, I do agree with her points. Now, mind, he's a good fan of the channel, but I disagree on every single point. Because Laura Fry's mindset is not what's going to help the Xbox. It wouldn't even help PlayStation in that regard. PlayStation is still very much doing the exclusives and all that, and it's still not working for them. Where's these 75, where's these 80 million people picking up Astro's Playroom? Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's right. They're playing Call of Duty and Xbox games. This is sad, bro. And I think as a gaming community, instead of you guys just keep focusing on PlayStation, Xbox, or all these little failures, I think you guys need to get your games right. Get your retro up. Get whatever you need. Like I've said before. Because at the end of the day, the gaming community and the way the business is working now ain't evolved around you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Everwild, I mean, looking at the screenshot, I wasn't really looking forward to it. But it's sad that that could have been 2 great games to Game Pass. And even with that strategy, that was still not enough for Microsoft, and they still wanted to lay employees off. This is only going to get worse as time goes on, and I can most definitely guarantee that the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox will be the last gaming consoles. Take care.